most of human history, people have been connected with the land that feeds them. Today, this connection is broken.
Well, studies have shown that food loses 40 to 60% of its taste and its nutritional value within 48 hours of being harvested.
Wow.
Most of our food is trucked, I think they say, an average of about 1,500 miles before it gets to the supermarket.
Community-supported agriculture is a relationship between a group of members and a local farm in which the members buy into the farm and the farm grows food for its members.
Small farms are going to survive only by direct marketing, by cutting out the middleman who is now getting 64 to 75% of every farm dollar that's spent in the United States of America. When you have CSA members, you get your capital up front to buy seeds and fertilizers and whatever else that you need to get through the growing season. In the case of, let's say, tomatoes, you start your seeds in February, but you're not going to actually sell anything until July.
Community-supported agriculture is a new style of farming that is bringing back some old ways where community is directly connected with the farmers.
There's no better way to know where your food comes from than to know the person that grew it.
We started Greensgrow Farm 5 years ago as a way of producing food in the city with the dual purpose of trying to show that you could reuse abandoned land.
As a member of this CSA, you actually come to the farm and you see where the food is grown, how the food is grown. You can talk to the farmer. You can even have some input into what kind of food you would like to have for next year, for when they plant again.
Because it's really shocking to find out that most people don't even know how food grows.
They don't know how it grows, they don't know where it comes from, they don't know what it went through to get to their supermarket. I think if people knew, they would change the way they eat.
Each week from the end of May until around Thanksgiving, CSA members come to the farm and pick up a box of whatever is in season at that time.
One of the interesting things about Greensgrow is that you're a co-op with several different farms.
Exactly, yeah. In people's CSA boxes, they get produce that's grown here at Greensgrow, and then they get what we call a package of staples coming from the rural farmers. And in addition, we organize this farmers market that sells food both grown at Greensgrow and from the rural farmers that we work with.
I mean, look at those incredible eggplants. How could you resist these incredible patty pan squash? And I'm trying this local yogurt and some goat cheese.
You also support other local businesses.
That's right, yeah. It's not just farmers, it's also producers. And one of our goals here is to introduce people to all the great stuff that's made right here in Philadelphia. So we work with Metropolitan Bakery, Old City Coffee.
We've had a great experience with the CSA. It's amazing how good the food is when it's fresh.
What are some of the problems with the food that's grown on a factory-type farm in an agribusiness compared to the food that you grow here?
Agribusiness is dictating to us what we eat rather than, as consumers, us saying what it is that we want, or certainly how it is that we want food grown. I mean, one of the easiest things in the world is to just spray everything with chemicals or pesticides. They came up with that one on their own and tried to shove it down the throats of the American people. We have been sold on the idea that big corporations are really doing what they do and growing what they grow in your best interest. I'm growing food that's in your best interest. The general perception is that the market is the voice, but the market is not the voice. If that was the case, then we would have tomatoes that taste good, and we don't.
No way!
Today, most of the produce available in supermarkets is bred so it can be transported long distances and sit on a store shelf longer, not for taste. But produce grown by a CSA is selected for taste, freshness, and variety.
Those are eggplants, an heirloom variety, and those things are impossible to find in supermarkets.
The particular role that urban farms can play is to meet the needs of the changing immigrant population in urban areas. We have a large Hispanic community. Just to the west of us, we have a large Eastern European community in this neighborhood, and we've tried to grow things that they've expressed a particular interest in. We are spending our dollars here, staying regional. There's nothing wrong with supporting people out in California, but There's no reason why more food can't be being grown here. It's also adding the possibility of having value added, to have locally produced items being made into other items. For instance, the pesto that we sell here, the tzatziki, which is made from cucumbers grown here, garlic from another farm that we deal with, and yogurt from one of our suppliers.
So the money is kind of staying in the area. It's a circle.
CSA members give us the money, we spend the money at Linvilla. Linvilla sells us the apples, we sell the apples to the White Dog Cafe. We use the money that we got from the White Dog Cafe to buy the flowers from LaRusso's. And we're all getting the added benefit of all enjoying local produce, local flowers, locally produced dairy, eggs. And when you see food being grown, you understand why food costs what it does. You understand why it's important for you to have a say in it, because people just don't understand how many things are being sprayed on their food, how many people are touching their food on between it starting as a seed and it ending up on your plate.
You want to join a CSA because you want the freshest produce available, because you don't want to feed your family food covered with pesticides, and because you want to see the local economy grow.
Fresh picked. So eat local for safe food.